Hi there and welcome to my channel. My name's Abigail and today's video is going to be about how to prepare for becoming a first-time mum. So this video is for you, especially if you are pregnant, you just found out you're pregnant, if so, congratulations. Or if you're just about to have a baby and you're just kind of in those final weeks leading up to it, this video is for you. This video is not going to be more about the physical kind of preparations of things you need to buy. I'm going to make that video later on, but at the moment this is kind of more of like a mental preparation kind of thing, like things that you need to be thinking to get yourself in the right mindset, in the right frame of mind for having your first child. So I have a 5-month-old son called Samuel. He's actually sitting over there just now, so if you hear any kind of coughs, he's got a bit of a cold at the moment, then just ignore that. But what I love is, I just love, as any new mum would tell you, I absolutely love talking about my son, and I want to share my experiences on here and just kind of get you guys commenting back with your experiences as well. So let's start with the tips. So my tip number 1 is be ready to wing it. Every baby is different. Every baby is not going to be the same as, like, your baby is not going to be the same as the next person's baby. And it's very important just to kind of remember that. It's quite easy, even though it's a simple tip, it's quite easy to forget that. So one thing that goes along with this is don't feel like you have to read every single parenting book that's out there. And this is something that I felt when I first got pregnant. I thought in order to be a good mum, I had to read like the 101 million books that there were out there and think about all the different advice and put it all into practice when my baby came. And all that did was stress me out, to be honest. So, and I would just say it's not necessary. Maybe get yourself one good book, maybe 2, because a lot of them, especially, the advice repeats. So if you just get 1 or 2 good books that's recommended, read through that, give yourself a bit of an idea. But then, going back to my previous one, a lot of it is about winging it and googling things as they come up. And it's important to remember as well that a lot of it is common sense. People have been having babies for centuries and not reading books about it, so a lot of it is common sense. So my second tip is everyone has an opinion and you don't have to listen to all of it. So this goes hand in hand with my first tip about parenting books and the fact that you don't have to listen to all the advice in that. Similarly, you don't have to listen to all the advice that your friends tell you, that your mum tells you. Just because someone has had a baby doesn't mean that the advice that they're going to give you is good advice for you and your baby. And similarly, if that advice is good advice, fair enough, and it's worked for their baby, then that's great, but it doesn't mean it's going to work for you and your baby, and you can feel free to ignore any advice that you don't want to take on board, including the advice I'm giving you in this video. So an example of this is that my son's 5 months, so he's almost ready to be weaned, but not quite yet. And what some people have been telling me is to give him a bit of banana before bed, because that'll help him sleep. And fair enough if that worked for this person's baby, but it's not going to work for my baby necessarily, and it's actually against the recommendations by the NHS. So the kind of moral of that story is just to think about things yourself. Don't just take all advice with a pinch of salt, essentially, and you don't have to listen to the advice you're given. My next piece of advice is to let yourself do what feels right in the moment. So this is kind of more for when you're just about to give birth, so like in the last few weeks maybe, if you're off work, if you're kind of not sure what to do with yourself, everyone will tell you you must relax. Like, this is the most important thing, you must relax. And it's almost kind of stressful the way people tell you have to relax, because you're going to get no rest after the baby and all this stuff, which is kind of interesting, I suppose. But you must do what feels right for you. So for me, what felt right was to clean my entire house, to iron little tiny newborn baby grows, which is completely pointless, but at the time it made me feel good, and it was what kind of helped me mentally clear myself and prepare myself for having a baby. So I would say do what feels right for you. If it feels better for you and more relaxing for you to binge watch Netflix, then do that. And if it feels better for you, more relaxing, to clean the house and iron your little newborn baby grows, then do that. My next tip is prepare for the worst but expect the best. So this is kind of maybe more of a pessimistic tip that some people might see, but I think it's just about preparing for potential eventualities if that's something that's kind of concerning you and is kind of stressing you out a little bit. So for example, one of the things that made me really nervous before Samuel came was just keeping Samuel alive. So this was like things like he might choke, he might roll over in cot and suffocate, and small things like that which are very unlikely to happen, but at the same time I was quite stressed that they would happen. So how I did to prepare for that was I made a list of the things that stressed me out. So whether that was choking, whether that was him rolling over in the cot, I made a list of these things. Then I went on the NHS website, I took classes to help myself kind of know what I would do in those situations. So a good example of this is I went to a baby resuscitation class that was offered to me through the NHS. I live in the UK, so we have the NHS, so you get these classes for free. So I went to one of these classes, I wrote down all the tips that they gave us there. I double checked it on the website, and then I made myself a little kind of checklist of everything that I would do if my baby needed to be resuscitated or if my baby choked. I made 2 separate ones on those. Then I put them in Polly pockets, and I have one in my changing bag and I have one in my living room, just in case that happens, so that I know what I'm going to do. So this tip can kind of seem kind of pessimistic to some people, but if it's something that concerns you, just deal with the fear, look it up. It's better to be prepared and for something to happen and to kind of know what you're doing a little bit and to do something rather than nothing, than it is for the worst to happen. And my final tip for today is just remember, people will tell you your life is over. Your life is not over. I was actually kind of scared to give birth because a lot of people were telling me like, your life's now officially over, you won't ever go out, you won't see your friends, you'll be you baby, you'll go insane. And this is just not what happens. Not what happened for me. If anything, my life is more exciting now that I have a baby because he's in it, obviously. But I do also find that I haven't given up on anything else that I was doing. I still see my friends, I still go out at night if I want to the cinema. It just requires a bit more planning now that I have a baby. So yes, while you might get sleepless nights, things can be a bit harder, things are just different, I guess. Your relationships, everything does change, but at the same time, they change for the better and in a really, really, really good way. So I would just encourage you, be excited about that. It's the most important thing. Just be excited about your new baby that's coming and make that the prevailing emotion rather than stress or worry. Make happiness and joy at the new life that's coming into the world the most important thing and the most important emotion and feeling within you. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more content about motherhood and lifestyle, and leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts on this video, and if you're already a mum, what your tips would be for becoming a first time mum as well. Bye everyone.